Good morning. Good morning. Sorry about that. I didn't. For some reason, it's I moved the mic and it went dead. Thank you, Liana. Este, uh, was making mention that tonight we should have Maggie on tonight, which is good. This is a good fit for Maggie. So you're welcome, Maggie. Good morning. Good morning. It's crazy because uh, Maggie and I were having a conversation, and she goes like, "Es que you're always fighting with me." I said, "Maggie, I've always fought with you. I mean, how is me fighting with you when you're not here any different from me fighting when you're here? I'm always fighting. I'm fighting with everyone. It's just who I am. Just who I am. Uh, I fight, but I don't fight in a weird type of way. It's kind of weird, and I think Maggie understands this. I fight with her like I fight with my sisters, and you could ask them. I fight with them quite a lot. But I love my sisters, uh, all of them, every single one of them. Uh, yeah, all of them. I had to think about it a little bit. I don't get along with all of my sisters, but that happens. Good morning, Jeannie, hermosa Jeannie. I could use some pancit, Jeannie. We're having a church function, and people would love that stuff. That's great stuff. Good morning, good morning. Going once, going twice. Showed. No, it's kind of trippy because, like, I think a lot of people know that I have my sister Melissa, and I love her to death. There is nothing that I wouldn't do for my sister Melissa. We don't speak, but that's not a bad thing. I think some people wanted at one point to read into a lot of, oh well, he doesn't speak to his sister Melissa. Doesn't mean that I don't love her. Again, I'm not going to validate their affection for me because that's something that they can do. But me personally, te cargo uno. Sí, mi amor. But me personally, I love them to death. My sister Linda, my other sister, we have our ups and downs, up and downs. Right now, we seem to be in a good place, which is great. Uh, Great relationship. But I like to maintain, and it's kind of trippy because I think a lot of people when they see me, they go like, "Es que está ahí un rato y luego como que ni habla con sus hermanas." I don't have to talk to him constantly in order to to say that we have this great friendship relationship. But there's nothing that I wouldn't do for Linda either. Um, I have what are the rest of their names? My sister Gabi. Gabi is amazing. All my sisters are nuts, but I think Gabi is nuts, special nuts, and uh, great relationship. Have this commonality. She looks horrible. She looked horrible that day. But that's me, and I think that's what a lot of people, Bria and Maggie knows. I'm just mean to everyone. Doesn't mean I don't like you. It just means that I'm just that. I mean, I love you. Gavi, great relationship. Claudia, great relationship. Sometimes we get Mo. Mo, you're looking like what's that guy's name that played the caveman? Brandon Fraser. You're looking like Brandon Fraser in the movie The Whale. Man, you gained weight, bro. You still look cute, aunque estés chubby gordito, pero jeez, my God. Mira, sí o no se parece. You know Brandon Fraser? Este, mira, este, ¿verdad? De la movie The Whale, ¿verdad? My God, you gained some weight, papi. ¿Verdad? Sí o no parece Brandon Fraser from The Whale, ¿verdad? I haven't even seen the movie The Whale. Buddy, Vito, that's who I need to bring on. Vito, Come to the office. You could be on the show, but you still look handsome. There's fat people that a lot of people seem to think that fat people are ugly. Not all fat people. Not all fat people are ugly. There's a lot of skinny people that are ugly. There's fat people que están bonitos. Ángel está gordito, pero está bonitillo, ¿verdad? ¿Dos, tres? ¿No? ¿Ah? Bueno, sí es gacho esa parte. Pero está bonitillo de la carita, tiene esa carita blanquita así. Mo también, está gordito, pero está bonito. La cosa es de que te acuerdas de ellos cuando estaban flaquitos y te dices tú, like, oh my God, what the hell happened? Pero estaba bonitillo, estaba flaquito y andaba riding su bike con su Trump flag. Unnecessarily mean, be nice. Uh, that's the thing. So then I have Claudia. Again, sometimes we fight a little bit, we disagree, but I mean, I love Claudia. Jamie, my sister Jamie, la gorda, que ya no está tan gorda. Uh, Ángel está bien bueno. No, he's not. Mira, Ángel, ahí tienes fans aquí. Yo creo que va a ser tu esposa que está aquí. A esa es la esposa de, a esa es la esposa de Ángel que está metiendo ahí sus comments. No, está feo. This episode of is brought to you by Matt White Contracting. Llévame a breakfast, perro, lo que debes de hacer. Matt, we went. Matt and I went to had breakfast at Terra's brunch, and let me tell you, we had some amazing mimosas here. But ya no me ha llevado el Matt White Contracting, no me ha llevado a breakfast ni a brunch. I use a pen to stir my coffee. Sorry, guys. You're mean. It's called being a la brava. Jimmy. Con Jimmy se me peleó. Ángel está bien bueno. Ah, no es cierto. Míralo en el comentario. No lo han visto bien. Ah, ha de ser Jessica o tu esposa, una de las dos. Good grief. Be nice for goodness sakes. A whale and then you look handsome. No, well, he does. No, have you seen the movie The Whale? Or I've heard of it. Got some awards. No, he got. Huh? He got the Oscar. Brandon Fraser got the Oscar for his portrayal on the movie The Whale. Sure, on the movie The Whale. That's amazing. But you remember Brandon Fraser when he was no gordo. Y estaba bonito. And it's kind of weird to see him now gordito. Pero como queda de gordito, he still look bonito. That's what I'm trying to say. You don't have to be skinny to be pretty. Yo estaba, when you were fat, you weren't bonito. What happened to all shirts that were mantes? Sí, estaba, it's kind of funny, but I was fat, and it's not true. I was fat. I was still estaba bonito fat. I'm actually looking at some pictures. Usaba el mantel de la mesa como camisa. Nomás le cortaba un círculo en medio. Buenos días, buenos días. It's Thursday. I'm leaving on a jet plane. Hi, good morning. I seen the movie where good movie. Judgmental Mercy. No, look. Doesn't he look? Honestly, look. Now, doesn't he look like Brandon Fraser from The Whale? Look. I'm not making this stuff up. Nací con lentes. I'm not being mean. It's a compliment. Sorry. Um, Let me say, guys, we really haven't had a full show. I was hoping Kathy was going to be on, so we could have a discussion or a conversation in regards to uh, what transpired. What transpired with what's his name? El pelón. Oh, Carlos. ¿Y no te dice el más Solís?
No, se quedó en la casa.
Le has traído.
Dijo que nos avises de la tarde
Le has traído
para
para
alistarse.
poner a trabajar. Que me arreglara esa cosa. Ella le gusta la decoración, ¿no?
¿Ella qué?
¿Eh? La decoración.
Fíjate que no sé.
Ah, no. ¿Te bañaste? Me baño una vez a la semana. O me la bañé. Martín, otro pelón. Martín es otra de esas personas que puede estar gorda. Martín lo he visto gordo y flaquillo. Ahorita ya se volvió a poner el marrano. Pero Martín es otra de esas personas que, aunque esté gordo. Ah, y vi unas fotos que subió cuando estaba en la prepa y todo. Y estaba flaquito y con cabello. Pero Martín es otra de esas personas que, aunque estén gordos y pelones, como quiera están bonitos. O sea, se ve bonito. No sé por qué. Pero habemos esas personas que estemos como estemos. Ahorita voy a ir a cortarme la barba porque voy para Puerto Vallarta. What happens when Carlos files a complaint with TA and the bar? Absolutely nothing. And look, this is one of the things, conversations that I wanted to have with Kathy, and I want to have with, and I had with Maggie yesterday. This is actually what we talked about. This is what really I wanted to make mention. It's unfortunate, and I wish you would have been here. It's easier to have a dialogue when I'm talking to someone. But I'm glad you asked this question. Absolutely nothing is going to happen. And take into account, again, something that I've stated regularly, and I had this conversation when we were having Roman on, but Roman was like, that doesn't say anything. Roman wasn't understanding what I was saying because Roman was so full of himself that day that he thought that no matter what he said, it was going to be right, and what anybody else said that contradict even a little bit of what he was saying was going to be so wrong. That's the way Roman is. But unfortunately for our community, nothing will happen because going to TEA, filing a complaint with TEA, uh, does absolutely nothing. Nothing. I filed a complaint with TEA personally. I drove my pretty self. I was a little bit on the fatter side back then. I drove my pretty self. Nothing's going to happen, and this is where we have to understand how the process works. They don't care. They don't care. I went to TEA with evidence, recordings, everything. They did nothing. And I, again, went into their main office up there, talked to an investigator or someone. Nothing happened. I filed a complaint with the bar against Baltasar Salazar. Nothing happened. Nothing. I mean, literally, you probably have to shoot someone in the face at point range in order for them to take any action whatsoever. The other thing to take into account, remember, part in regards to the censor versus reprimand, part of um, Carlos's statement, basically what it's stating, and again, not trying to put words in Carlos' mouth, but what it's stating is that they had a walking quorum, and a walking quorum. What that does is, what it means is you've got for a majority meeting in any which way before a meeting and violates the Texas Opens Meetings Act. So it's a walking quorum. It's a violation. It's a very serious violation, actually, because anything that is discussed in a walking quorum automatically gets shut down. It should not be. Someone can file a lawsuit. But nothing's going to happen in regards to the walking quorum either. Remember, guys, I don't know if you all remember, and I tried to get this in Maggie's head yesterday, was remember, guys, I posted a picture where it had Prissy Roca-Tipton, Drew the Racist Brown, Sylvia La Rata Atkinson, Minerva Peña, and Baltasar Salazar. You had four board members sitting at the IHOP. That was a violation of the Texas Open Meetings Act. A violation, a clear violation. And they could say, "Well, we were just socializing." It's not true. They were speaking business, and this they did right after they had come after Erasmo Castro. So you gotta know for a fact that they did not sit there and not talk about Erasmo Castro or him being on the board. It isn't. Erasmo, please stop it with the weight insults like Marrano Gordo Whale. You've come a long way yourself today to become one of those. It's not an insult. Again, I didn't call him a whale. See, this is part of the problem. I was referring to the movie The Whale, where Mo looks like Brandon Fraser. One, from The Whale, not calling him a whale. Got to keep things in context. I'm always calling myself a marrano. I call everyone a marrano. I call my dad a marrano. It's just a word. I don't think that this is part of the problem. We cannot fall into this. Oh, the words are offensive, and this is why our country is such a in such a well. One of the reasons why this country is such a horrible place, because you have to be very very careful with what words you use. I'm not going to be careful with the words that I use because to individuals like I'm always talking to him about his weight because he's got fat, but he's my friend. And Mo knows that I love him. Every time I go to San Antonio, I go look for Mo. It's the same thing with what's his name, Sam. I love Sam. He's fat. He got a lot fatter. But again, I remember having tact. They're friends. Sam I've known for 30, 40, 40 years. Frankie's fat. I mean, necesita marrano. I've known him all his life. I think it's the relationships that permit you to have these conversations with these individuals. I mean, I didn't call Nelda fat. I just said that she looked like she just woke up. But I have a friendship with Nelda. I know that at the end of the day, they understand that it's not mean spirited, and I think that's what's important. It's like I'm not going to use the N word, but when individuals call themselves the N word, and I've heard Mexicans use it like, "Hey, N word, N word, N word." They're not saying it as a gringo would say back in the 1800s or the 1900s. Does that make sense? There's a difference. Same word. It's just the tone. It is what's behind it, the character, and not having a relationship with an individual. Mo, I love Mo. He knows that. I actually made a mention that I've always had a little crush on Mo. I still do. He's a great guy. I love Mo. He's kind of nuts, but I like him. I like him nuts. Do you know what happened in Houston, which caused TEA to intervene? Could that happen here? Is it true that the scores dropped, therefore the district grade? No, I think it was a several years of scores dropping, and I think that Houston also had some financial matters that they had to deal with. So it's got to be a lot. Part of the problem, Nelda, is that you don't have anyone out here uh, reporting the things that are really, really este, pertinent. Because a lot of times they do the scroll tactic, and I'm going back into the scroll tactic. They go back into the scroll tactic. They try to, oh, look up here. Carlos is being rude. Carlos is being mean. Carlos is using words. and they distract people with crap like that, and then everyone moves their energy into that, and that's a problem. We cannot stay focused on they censored Carlos. It's horrible. I've been there. It's not the number one issue at BISD because all of a sudden, guys, everyone is up in arms about Carlos' censor, which I agree with. I agree with. Is it the number one issue at BISD right now? The answer is no. We're talking about the air conditionings. Should be one of the high priorities. They're talking about morale. Should be one of the high priorities. Now, is this the straw that broke the camel's back? It may be, but we cannot lose focus of everything else. It's all, not just one. Let me get to the questions because I think that there's a good question that I want to answer. Do you always? But you're always talking about him about his weight. Leave him alone. Sam, Frankie, Mo, Maggie's hair. It's like having tact. What you see is what you get. Just stop ragging on him. You don't know how they feel for the day, and plus, it's different when you do it privately versus in your show. Yeah, I agree in that respect. You might be having a bad day, but I think one of the things about Mo, Sam, and I'm, ta- I'm talking about being fat. I'm eating a Twinkie, and I just spit out a piece, and I picked it up from my pants. Um, is I'm hoping that they have the confidence to come to me and say I'm having issues. Uh, Angel, what else? So I hope they have the confidence. If you are having a bad day, talk to me. One of the things that I try to do, and again, guys, I've been very, very open about my my little downfall these past couple of months in regards to mental health. I felt it in myself. I did it to myself, actually. Um, I am doing better now, and I hope if any of my friends are having issues in regards to mental health or dealing with any adverse situation, I hope they can have the confidence to reach out to me because I will respond and I will act. They know me. Uh, they know me. My friends know me. They know that I will do my best to always be there for them. Crap, I can't get that one from my thing. I'm trying to remove stuff from my dog to see if that helps me. I don't even use these things. Hold on, guys. I use that one because I think it makes your. I don't want to use that one. I don't care for. Makes your icons bigger, and I like them bigger. Oh crap, that's nice. I'm going to get to the questions, guys. Give me a second. Be patient with me. Buenos días, buenos días. More Pattery videos coming. I support the dream team at Erasmo, Carlos, Susan, and Maggie. Good. And I think one of Richard's videos got taken down. Facebook, they become so delicate. Everyone's become so delicate these days. I just woken up. The information to share that day required attention more than me. I noticed that. I think we all noticed that. Let me say that I have I've been very fortunate to have friends that I can talk to as a recent in regards to my personal situations that I've been dealing with in the past couple months, and I'm doing good. You're saying that they have to accept that you feel entitled to talk about their way just because you're friends. Yeah, and they have to accept it just because that's how you are. Anyways, read your audience, rein it back. Yeah, okay, but a censor is not censorship. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You will be censored. Uh, censorship. The same thing. What they're going to do is they're going to not permit him to speak at functions. They're going to possibly limit him from going to campuses or attending certain events. That's what they do. Why? Because they have the power to do it. That's what we need to focus on. The squirrel tactic seems to have worked with BISD insurance. Why did the self-funded district decide to break coverage when a package deal is cheaper? That makes absolutely no sense. But honestly, Anoda, since you mentioned it right now, when is the last time that you heard anyone, go into detail in regards to the insurance in the past 2 days? In the past 2 days, nothing, because all we've been talking about is Carlos' censor. You're always talking about mental health. I'm hoping you have courtesy. Okay. You don't get to push it on them. Okay, perfect. No, it's not. As I'm sure you've been censored from a board. I'm sure. No, there's only one individual here who's commenting and sitting here that has actually gone through a censor, and that's me. So you can disagree all you want. You haven't lived it. I have. For how long will Carlos be allowed to be censored? Uh, that's up to the board majority. Could be months. It could be till they think that he has changed. Could be for a year. Don't know. Mine didn't last that long because I decided to resign. I wish Elizabeth Ramos was here. I think she was censored as a board member up in Kingsville, just to get her input in regards. I think she was. I'm not sure. But again, you have to go through it. And let me say, folks, for a lot of people that may think, oh, well, Erasmo's just mean spirited. I've been through hell and a half in this for this community. I've taken hits that I don't should not have needed to take. So you think that I'm the mean guy del cuadro. Can't help how you feel about Erasmo Castro. I didn't say you were censored. I'm saying that the same as said censor, not censor. It's just a word. And that's the argument that the attorney was making. Because the argument that the attorney was making was that you're not saying this, you're saying that. And the attorney told him, we already told you. Okay. I'll tell you, that was the argument that was made by their attorney, O'Hanlon, who I know personally. The arg because they were there towards the end of my stint at BISD. They were called in actually by Baltasar Salazar. Why they're still on there after they were in bed with Baltasar Salazar blows my mind. Really blows my mind. But that was the argument they made. Same thing. True about the lack of discussion regarding the insurance. The employees need to speak up. Supposedly, employee benefits. I'm going to tell you what I told Maggie. We've got to come together. We got to stop nitpicking. We've got to come together. We've got to bring it all together. I'm going to say this again. I'm going to give you one example. And I've told Susan this. I've told Maggie this. I've told everyone out there this. Until we come together and start fighting for this community as a whole, nothing is going to change. But we keep on nitpicking at each other. And it just makes no sense. Look, I told Maggie, Maggie, you have, now that you hope you agree, you have a stronger voice when you're on the show because I have the audience, because I'm Erasmo Castro. And it's not to fill in my big head, but your voice is so much bigger when you're on the show. And you all know this. It, it was perfect. The chemistry was there. I mean, you had some like classic moments. It was just right. And the first time that Maggie left the show was because of the cease and desist. And I said, Maggie, it's a mistake. Don't get off the show because of the cease and desist letter. Come out more on the show because of the cease and desist letter. But at certain point, a lot of people don't believe what I'm telling them. And I'm telling folks stuff because I know what I'm saying. Because I've either lived it or I've been behind the closed door. Again, guys, I've been behind the closed door. I've had to sit in front of Parisi Rocatip and gobble down food like if there was never going to be a meal ever again in her life. And Minerva Peña, God, she'd eat and talk at the same time. And you have food spreading all over the place. I mean, I just did that with my Twinkie, but I'm here by myself. Well, except for Angel, who some people think is pretty, and Ruby, but they're on the other side of my mural. But we have to come together, guys, because Susan, with her long-winded speeches out there, it's nice, great. And and look, guys, let me say this. Let me say this in a kind of weird way, and I hope the people that oh, we're going to stick with Susan. We're not going to stick with Erasmo. I hope those people realize that really you're just shooting yourself in your damn foot. Doesn't much matter how much you support Susan, and or the people. Oh, now we're going to support Maggie, but we're not. We don't care for Erasmo. I don't care, but you're just shooting yourself in the foot. It's the same thing that happened with the Manny behind the mic people. And again, Manny and I have a great friendship, a great relationship. We've had our ups and downs, up and down. But it's like those people that go like, "Oh no, I'm going to go with Manny." Like se le quite Erasmo. You're not hurting Erasmo, guys. So all those little followers, like my friends, Carlos Tabuada, and all these people that say, you know what, no, I, I, I hate that Erasmo goes has lunch with Roy de los Santos or Trey Mendes. Not going to listen to him anymore. We're going to stick with Susan. And great, I love Susan. She still owes me enchiladas, and she still owes me four $2 bills. It's great. She hasn't delivered on either one. You're not doing it to Erasmo, and people may think that they are. You're doing it to yourself and to the greater movement that could be out there. Because until we all come together and realize that I'm not saying stuff, I'm not talking out of my ass. I'm talking because I've been there. And it's like this whole Tanasca thing. And I told Susan, we're getting nothing back. We're not really getting anything back. But think about it. We wasted all these resources, guys, in regards to getting all this information. For what? For what? We're splintered. We're like this. Maggie's doing great in regards to bringing awareness to BISD. De que no sirve. It's over here. And Susan's over here. And Erasmus right here. And I'm using these as examples, guys. We've got other little factions all over the place. It's like the Republican Party. They suck. Democrat Party, they suck. And guys, I was at La Mantequilla's event here. They had a shindig. I posted a picture with our senator La Mantequilla, and I like her. We have a great We 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 have great conversation, and I sat there in the dining area, the little nook or something. I don't know, breakfast nook, and we had these conversations. We had this conversation, and they said, well, Erasmo, Republican. No. I said, guys, rep- what I've always stated, the left wing and the right wing are still the same part of the same bird. It's the same bird. It's the same thing. People need to realize that. The difference, guys, is that they're united. They're together. And the evidence, the evidence, the evidence, guys, is that when Susan was in the runoff with Tino Villarreal, you had all the Democrats out there. You saw this taking pictures with Tino Villarreal. All of them. All of them. From the congressman down to the TSC board member, trustees, and those, yeah, all of them supporting Tino Villarreal. Again, guys, how many strong folk in the Republican Party came out in favor of Susan? She's buddy buddies with Mayra Flores. More power to her. I have, can't stand the chick. It's embarrassing that she is one of the leads in the Republican Party. It's embarrassing. Yeah, Janie Lopez has no clue what government is. No clue. They didn't come out to support Susan. Our chair, I never saw a post from the chair in support of Susan. And Susan sits on one of those precinct chairs. I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what a precinct chair is. She sits on one. You would think that she would have their support. So nothing is ever going to change, folks, until we all come together and realize that there's one individual, Sylvia. I'm glad that you listened to all sides. And Sylvia, I've known for years. But Sylvia, who has been here for a while, and a lot of you that have been here know that I've been speaking truth for years about Tanasca, about Fly Frontera, about the sports park. Right now, Captain Bob is like en un viaje with a sports park. I'm glad. 10 years ago, I was fighting the sports park. And, and, and don't get me wrong, folks. I wish I didn't have to be here. I honestly wish I didn't have to be here because there's other places I could be. Like this next week, I'm going to go to Puerto Vallarta. And then the next week, I'm going to go to Mexico City. And then the next week, or the same week, I'm going to Cuba. I don't have to be here, guys. I'm here because Brownsville needs Erasmo Castro. That's the truth. They need Erasmo Castro. And unfortunately, it doesn't go both ways with a lot of these folks that have a lot of little things going around because they sometimes seem to think that they don't need an Erasmo Castro. And that's why you get a lot of these different shows popping up, which is great. And I'll tell you this off the bat. When I had my discussion, my argument with Manny was because he did a show at 9 o'clock. I said, Manny, don't do a show at 9 o'clock. We got into you go, I can do a show whenever the hell I want. You're going up against me. I did not appreciate that because we were friends and we got mad at each other. It's okay. We can get mad at each other if you want. And then let it slide. How many times have I gotten mad at Roman? Many times. Doesn't mean I don't consider Roman a friend. I mean, you've seen me bitch at Roman on this show. Just on Monday. He left. Guys, I am the king of all local social media. And I don't say that like, "Mm, mm, 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 mm." I say that because it's the facts, the truth. I wish it wasn't so. Honestly, it gets to a point that I wish it wasn't so. I can't go anywhere in the city of Brownsville. I can't go anywhere in the city of Brownsville because I'm Erasmo Castro. And it's a double edged sword because it's kind of cool to be Erasmo Castro. And I appreciate all the love and attention that I get and everywhere I go. But sometimes I want to have that little quiet, private time. You know, if I want to go on a date, I can't. If I want to go, I went to a movie with a friend yesterday. Went to a movie with a friend yesterday. A friend, a friend, and it's a long time since I went with someone to the movies. It was kind of cool because I always go to the movies by myself, which I enjoy my quiet time, my alone time. It's just very, very limited. But we have to come together, guys, and we got to stay focused. We got to join forces. Forces. See, this community deserves for us to join forces. That is true that her voice is louder when she's on your show. However, to be honest, the banter can and has gone as far at times. It isn't always easy to take. Like I said, I was raised with only brothers. It could be tough, so I could take a lot. But nice, be nice to me. Not everyone can take it. Just say, yeah. Maggie didn't leave the show, Nelda. Didn't leave the show because Erasmo Castro was being mean to Maggie. She knows that. She sometimes whines about it and tells me, "Well, you're just mean to me." I'm going, I'm mean to everybody. It's not the reason she left the show. I'm going to say that she left the show because of the cease and desist letters. That's why. Which again, that's her choice. But it wasn't because Erasmo was being mean. Erasmo was mean to Erasmo was mean to Maggie even before she came on the show. But I'm going to say this again. We had great chemistry and great shows, amazing shows because it fit. It was a great fit. I mean to everyone. Brownsville and the entire RGV has been and always will be for sale. And that's what's unfortunate. Truth is, so much chaos all over the government entities. Not sure we, the people, are going to be able to gain a foothold. That's exactly what we're trying to do. So, what I'm trying to work out with Maggie is give us a day a week and we'll rant about BISD that day. And with Susan, give us a day a week and we'll bitch about everything city. And I'm going to tell Frankie, give us a day a week. And that's it. And on another day, we could have like invited guests. We could invite Carlos and other folks. And I haven't invited Carlos to come on yet. I'm going to wait till after to see what these next couple of days are for him. But he knows that whenever he wants to come on, he's great. But that's exactly what I want to do. So hopefully Maggie will be on tonight. We'll have this discussion, and she'll commit to one day a week. An international man of media. I'd love to have Royal one day a week, and she'd give back the dogs. I'm mad at you. And nobody's saying that you're not saying the truth. It's everything else. If people pick up on different vibes, they rather invest in. Even if it's true that you have the audience, you're edging on arrogance, and that's off-putting. Stop watching my shows. I'll be okay. Am I arrogant? Maggie said this. Am I arrogant? And do I have a big head? Yeah. I mean, someone that comes on here and says and posts handsome and totally not fat, better believe is a little bit arrogant. What you see is what you get. I'm not going to change. I'm not going to mellow out. I'm not going to go out there and shake babies and kiss hands in order to get people to, and start people to like Erasmo. What you see is what you get. Simple as that. And for some reason, the people of Brownsville are fascinated with individuals like Tony Martinez. Tony Martinez. Tony Martinez is correcto, habla bien, muy bonito y todo. But he screwed this community over like a madman. Well spoken politician. That's what people like around here. They'd rather someone nice that screws them over than someone that tells them the truth and is only trying to bring awareness. Can't help that. You complain that you're burdened the whole thing on your shoulders. Not that you have more and more shows, and you complain that people don't get involved, and then they can't. Your times for some reason, Yasmin, you want to fight about everything, and that's your call. I was giving the Manny and myself thing an example, not so much to talk about the time slot, but because we disagreed, we got pissed at each other, and then we decided to go each other's way for a while, and they came back to being friends. But you didn't catch all that. All you caught was you were pissed about your time slot. More power to you. The only way I could do that was if you wanted me to come over and help you clean it out for the next couple of weeks, and then you could just do that for us in your own time. But don't forget that I don't want to do anything else just because you know that I don't know how much I don't know. You are amazing, and I like Cesar. I don't know why, but I love a lot of his comments. I think he's got a good jive. I would do a show with Cesar once a week. Cheeseology, History 101. Yeah, and again, see, this is part of the problem, Royal. A lot of times you have to go back and explain to people we're not new at this game. And a lot of people have come in slowly. Let's do it. I'm up tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, if you're ready. Let's do it 9 o'clock tomorrow, Cesar. I'm not joking. Let me know. Send me an inbox. A lot of people don't understand. Royal, we've been flying Fly Frontera together, baby. Fly Frontera, Sports Park, Pat Ahumada, Charlie Atkinson, guys, Carlos Quintanilla. And you make mention of these names, and people don't know who you're talking about. They don't know who you're talking about because they don't know. We know because we've been here. I'm not disappointed with you, but again, I know you're not going to care. Really, dude? Why do you always have to show the door? We're trying to tell you something that you easily discard because it's everything that we said is all about me kicking you out of here. I'm not kicking you out of here. I'm saying if it's such if it's such a horrible thing that you have to write a whole thesis on and nitpick on everything they say, es flojera. Honestly, you're not understanding what I'm saying, and that's okay. You're just not understanding what I'm saying. I mentioned the time slot because it instigated a separating. But the main thing about it was, despite the fact that we argued about something, doesn't mean we can't come back together and work together. I love Manny, a good, great friend. Will always be a great friend because we fight one day. Doesn't mean that later on, in a couple of weeks, we don't, or a couple of days, we don't go out and have a cup of coffee or a drink. That's why they hate Trump because he speaks the truth. Yeah. Now, do you think Elon Musk is a Russian spy? No. Let's do it. We'll do. Send me a message, puppy. What did I miss? Uh, the lips. Se te pasó. Love you, Lupita. You see it as fighting. I'm going to tell you something, but you're getting offensive and dismiss anyone seeming to go against you. I voted for you every single time, but okay, you're right. I'll leave. That's a choice, mi amor. And I want you to continue to vote for me. I didn't say I hate you speaking the truth. That's what Diego said. I read Diego's comment. What I mentioned was a lot of people would prefer to be like, was it the Stevie Nicks song? Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies, tell me lies, because they're sweet. I don't have time to tell people lies. Tell you the truth, what I feel, my angst, my desires. That's who I am. I haven't changed in the past 12 to 15 years that we've been doing this. I haven't changed. I haven't changed. Our society has changed. It has become it has become too sensitive. I never just like if we had different topics. I always yeah, and we always had respect for each other. Again, it was minuscule, and again, it's in the past. And I mentioned it again to say we could have discussions one day. It doesn't mean we can't come back together the next day, and we need to, because this community needs all of us. All of us. I saw a flying car in Central Boulevard. They're coming to us where the future is now, old man. First of all, you must have been on some massive drugs if you saw a car flying down Central Boulevard. And I'd like to know what you were on. And second of all, I'm not old. I just need to go get this cut, and that's actually the call that I was going to make. I'm going to call Barber Kings to take this vergüenza off. Then again, I did eat some shrooms. Break down, baby. I want to know. I want to be on what you were on that day. Send me an inbox, I said. I'm gonna see if we could be on. You'd be hilarious, I'm sure. Guys, I was going to mention something. I ate some shabu chaboings, chaboings, boings. You were on something, baby. Um, Shoot, I was going to say something I forgot. Uh, we all need to work together. We need to vote for the better. Yeah, guys. Uh, and it's like I've told Kati and everybody else. I just woke up. Like I told Kati and everybody else, guys, gotta come together. Gotta work together. It's the only way. And it's until that day comes, things start working. Now, why do I need to be the center of of the unity here? Very simple. I've lived it all. No one has been more involved in everything that has uh, been a detrimental factor to this community. No one has been on top of it more than Erasmo Castro and individuals like Juan Montoya. At one point, Jerry McHale. The problem with them, for them, it's more of an economic business. They've made money off of advertising from individuals that are questionable, who they've badmouthed at one point, then all of a sudden now they support. The difference is that I haven't sold my soul out to anyone, never will. And I've been doing this for 15 years. And I could tell because of the white hairs that I'm going to get cut off at Barber King's today. And because I need some Botox. And I can't remember the place. My cousin Chelly went to a place. Last question. What will you do in the next 10 years to promote growth in Brownsville? I'm praying that in the next 10 years, I make enough money that I can continue to travel the world. Because you said this, you called me an old man. I am getting older. And there's a lot of the world that I want to see that I haven't seen. So it's time for other individuals to come and pick up where I'm going to leave off and pass the baton to a younger generation. I I'm getting ready. Head on off to the other side. Ram Gasher Avikari. Love you, Api. Guys, have a great day. Uh, I'm not upset with anyone, guys. It's what you see is what you get. I haven't changed in the past 15 years that I've been doing this. And I promise I will not change. In 10 years, we will still be in the same situation, but I will be in the worse than now. Let's pray not. Guys, I love y'all. See y'all tonight, hopefully tonight at 9 p.m. with Maggie, the return of Maggie. And we are going to discuss doing it together for one year. I love y'all. Be good to each other. Continue to be good to me. God bless.